So we're going to take some questions now from the audience. If you would like to ask a question, if you would please raise your hand. Yes, sir, right here. If you would please state your name, where you're from, and then your question, please.
Thanks. Mark Holacek here from Windermere and from this church. Thank you all for being here. Question related to the vice president position. Of course, the debate is later tonight, and in particular, Mike Pence. A number of you have spoken about how he's a credible indication of the kind of people Donald Trump is putting around him. And we know Trump, I think, is 70, Clinton is 68, and who knows what kind of health she has. It's probably more important than ever this time, and often vice presidents run for president or actually become president. What could you say to us of your knowledge of Mike Pence and why you feel he is that strong person that we could take great comfort and confidence in as conservative Christians, and what ought we be looking for in tonight's debate on that subject?
Thank you for the question. I'll go first here. You know, Governor Pence is one of us. There's some politicians that come to us, and there's other politicians that come from us. And Governor Pence, I believe, comes from us. Matter of fact, our peer in Indiana, John Stemberger's peer, and my peer in Indiana is Kurt Smith. Mike Pence used to sit on the board of the Indiana Family Policy Council. He surrounded himself with people like John Stemberger and Bob Vander Plaats in his cabinet when he was governor of Indiana. Without question, Governor Pence had one major flaw, and we got to see it spotlighted. That was the RFRA battle, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act battle. But I'm willing to give him a mulligan, so to speak. I mean, not everybody's perfect on everything, but I know he's got the right core. He says he's a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order. And I think what you'll see in tonight's debate is he's very well qualified.
Other questions? Yes, ma'am, right here, down in the front.
Hi, my name is Dolores Barton. As stated earlier, it is obvious that we are in a battle for our faith, our values, and our beliefs. And as parents, what can we do to equip and get our children ready? Because our children are still inside the public school system that is undermining what we believe. So what can we do to empower them so that they can continue in the faith?
Goodness, that's a whole nother panel of discussion. Great question, but Pastor, let me let you take a swipe at that, and then we'll move on quickly.
The best thing you can do is get them involved in doing some ministry. My son worked with our Kirkman Community Church, which is on Kirkman Road. It's in a little bit of a distressed community for his last 2 years in high school before he went to college. Incredibly impactful. Turn these policy issues into people and stories. Let them see it for themselves. Take them there. And then it will frame so much of what they do. Don't just let it be in your church. You need that. You don't just let it be in your home. You need that. But then take them out to where the people are and let them feel it, smell it, touch it, taste it, see it, and it will make a huge impact in their life.
Very good. Other questions about the election specifically? Yes, sir, in the back with the beard.
Really quick, we have a question from Facebook Live. Danny wants to know, as Christians, should we be theologically talking about voting for the lesser of two evils?
So let me just respond to that, and I'll let somebody else want to respond. I think that we live in a fallen world. It's an imperfect world. As Francis Schaeffer would say, things are not as they ought to be. Every choice we make is shot through with sin. At my best, when I look great up here, I have motives that are not pure. So I think that the question really is, where is the disqualification issue? I'm not sure what Bill would respond to this, but at a certain point, can character and can sinfulness disqualify us? And I don't know the answer to that. I think that if you focus on character, it seems like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are it's kind of a tie. I mean, they have both depravity in different ways. right? But in terms of policy, I think that there's a very clear difference between policy. So I think that every choice we make has sin tainted in it. Janet Parshall, when she did the NRB debate, did a long history of presidential candidates who were flawed with all kinds of sinful affairs, stuff we don't even know about that are kind of little pinpoints in history that we didn't have social media back then. And she brought all of them up, and it was fascinating. It doesn't justify anything currently, but it put things in context.
Hello, hi. My name is Rafael Neves. I live here in Windermere, Florida, and I'd like to maybe present a different perspective about the federal government. How about a libertarian candidate? Wouldn't he be, on the long term, be better for the country? For example, in the question of abortion, Gary Johnson is not pro-abortion. He isn't just in favor of leaving the issue up to the states to decide on that. So wouldn't a libertarian candidate be more beneficial to religious liberty and other issues on the long term?
Go ahead.
Well, there are three ways. I think there are three ways to vote for Hillary Clinton. I think there's the preferred way. Paige Patterson said this a few days ago. There's the preferred way as far as she's concerned, vote for her. But then there is the not to vote or to vote for a third-party candidate. And I think it's a bad decision to vote for a third-party candidate. You say, well, I'm principled, and this, I had 16 others that I would have supported, but not this one. I didn't get the one that I wanted, and I really thought about that because I struggled with it at first, and the Lord just brought to mind Joshua and Caleb. Joshua and Caleb, they lost the primary. And, they cleaned up, they worked it. They didn't leave. They stayed. And Samuel tried to dissuade the people vehemently. God does not want this. God does not want you to have this king. And the people said, we want a king. And then God said to Samuel, go and anoint him with oil and establish him. So I think that the reality of our system is that you have the stewardship of a vote. And I am afraid that many of our people are taking that solemn stewardship and they're going to bury it in the sand and say that I can't handle the struggle of expressing that and risking it. And so I'm going to vote for someone who is not going to have a possibility of winning. And that's not a good choice, in my opinion and my conviction.
Quickly, Bob.
I want to address the other part of your question, and that's the states' rights issue. The states' rights is a conservative thing to believe in. We agree with states' rights, that states are where the laboratory is. However, states' rights is also a way to deflect hard issues. A thing like abortion, that is a moral issue. And that's wrong in every state, not in some. It'd be like us saying, no, we can have slavery in Iowa, but you can't have it in Missouri. There are issues that are right and wrong. And that's why the church needs to be the prophetic voice into a culture. It's not a states' rights issue. It's a God standard issue.
Thank you, Bob.